Welcome to the house of pain, where everybody goes insane. I've been here all my life, and every door leads back again. Welcome to the house of pain.
That track had the perfect feel for this one right here. Good yo, it's your boy LJ, and welcome back to Reaction LJ. Today we're checking out the final episode of Alex Meyers' Lemonade Mouth is Kinda Dumb series. And yo, this whole thing happened a wild ride. Disney drama, teen angst, music battle, fights, and everything. Let's see how it all wraps up.
So I've talked about a lot of Disney Channel movies here and there. Descendants, Camp Rock, High School Musical. I've been around the block. Every time I do one of these, I get a lot of requests in general, but specifically to do the movie Lemonade Mouth. And whenever people request this movie, it's always like, can you please make a video about Lemonade Mouth? But don't you dare say anything bad about it. So I figured before we really get into the whole winter holiday season and find out what kind of masterpiece
People
Vanessa
really
Hudgens is
don't
making
like
this
it
year, I thought it was
when
finally
you
time to
say
check this movie out. So let's take a
something
look.
rude
Lemonade Mouth
or
starts off where
mean
any good
about
teen coming-of-age flick begins,
Disney
with
show.
all the main characters sitting in detention. Because that's what happens when you listen to that rock and roll music and play them video games, I tell you what.
The rules in here are simple. No eating, no drinking, no sleeping, no talking, no tapping, no texting. You break a rule, I add another day of detention.
Okay.
Are we clear? Great.
You know, I always thought it was kind of funny how detention's supposed to be like a punishment or whatever, right? But all those rules the teacher just said there, like, those were the same rules in my entire high school anyway. I mean, I swear, there's nothing a high school teacher hates more than the sight of kids having fun, you know what I mean? But anyway, so this is where we meet most of the main characters of the movie. We have Stella, Wen, Mo, Charlie, and Olivia. Now, to give us a little backstory on these kids here, we flash back to that morning before all this happened. First, we have Stella, the new kid in school, having just transferred a month into the new year, which, surprise, surprise, she's not too thrilled
And the great
about.
part about it, she already
Stella.
starting trouble. Already starting trouble.
But who cares, right?
The school year even starting and she already
Then you and
starting
Dad
trouble.
might have thought to ask me before
one
you
thing
moved
I
your family
don't
halfway
get.
across the
How you
country.
the new
Wen
student
is this
already
guy who's pretty
starting
weirded
trouble?
out by his dad's new girlfriend.
He is.
Have fun.
Good in the half of the show.
I
He
mean,
really didn't like
you know,
his
I'm just
dad's
saying,
new girlfriend.
Right?
You really
Charlie
don't
is a
get it.
drummer whose parents
You
really
don't
want him
really
to
get
play
it.
soccer. Mo is the straight-A good girl who's got a bit of a dark side, like exposing her shoulders.
Right, that's why it's super funny to me.
Man, who's definitely one of those kids who still quotes Rick and Morty like all day. And this is Olivia, the
having a
relatably
life.
awkward character who's average in every way, just like me. So this first part of the movie is really just showing us how these kids got detention in the first place. Like Mo gets caught trying to skip class with Pickle Rick over here. Charlie throws a fit because he doesn't want to play soccer and he's very mature about it. Wen calls his teacher stupid. Stella interrupts a school assembly.
All our coaches.
My shirt, my decision. Okay, don't let your school take away your rights. Okay, be heard. Use your voice. Come on.
Hey. Stella should have never been in detention. She just telling everybody that why does her shirt matter? Like, why does it matter that, I show a little bit of shoulder, or I'm dressing like that, right? But it only matters when it comes to the girls. But when the dudes are breaking the dress code, it doesn't matter. That's stupid.
And finally, Olivia gets in trouble for reading a book. Yeah, I have no idea how this school works. Anyway, like I said, all these kids get sent to detention, which of course, wouldn't you know, is all the way down in the basement. So we follow Stella as she starts to learn a little more about what kind of school she transferred to.
Now,
You lost?
and like they in prison now.
No, I'm
Detention, huh? Follow me.
What is this place?
This is the underground. Unless you're wearing a varsity
Underground.
jacket or a cheer skirt around here, you're basically
Invisible.
See? You're catching on already. Detention's at the end of the hall.
Now, on the way to detention, all the kids come across this ancient-looking vending machine that only sells lemonade in, like, mason jars or something. And one by one, they all end up drinking some in this strangely dramatic montage.
Where the stars align and fates collide. This was that moment.
When all the kids realized that drinking lemonade that's probably been sitting there since like 1957 might not be the best idea. But also, just a quick aside here, isn't it kind of weird how the teacher said she'll give you more detention if you have any food or drinks or whatever, and then there's a vending machine right outside the door? I mean, that's like the American school system in a nutshell right there. Anyway, so this brings us back to where the movie first started. Now, it turns out the teacher in charge of detention is actually the school's music teacher. And she's not too happy about how the principal treats everyone who doesn't like kicking balls around, you know what I'm saying?
Rather than let you twiddle your little thumbs for the next hour, we are going to put those thumbs to use. We're gonna unpack and we're gonna turn this storage room into a music room. We might as well make the best of it, right? We've been banished to the basement.
But anyway, so she tells the kids to clean the room up while she's gone and storms off to go do something. Now, as per usual with these kinds of movies, what at first seems like a bunch of random noises like water dripping, finger tapping, or me crying in the corner because I tried to say hi to the girl I had a crush on and all that came out was damn. So suddenly all of this turns into music and everyone starts singing and dancing and making this face for some reason. Because like I said, it's one of these movies. But right then, the teacher comes back and sees what these kids have been getting up to.
You, Olivia, you have a beautiful voice. You are meant to play together. Oh, come on. You don't have a moment like that and then just ignore it. Rising star. Rising star.
Rising what? Rising star. It's a talent competition.
So the teacher's big plan is to have these kids win the Rising Star competition and hopefully change the principal's mind about everything.
What she mean by them winning the Rising Star talent competition? Is it good if they win that she can start music again? I don't get it.
Now, because they're teenagers, of course, they're all like, whatever, I don't even care, because, I mean, caring about stuff is for losers, right, guys? But anyway, so after this, everyone goes home, and here's where we find out what's really going on with these kids. For example, Stella's parents are both doctors, Charlie lives in the kind of place you'd see in like a YouTuber house tour, Wayne lives on a horse ranch, and he finds out his dad's new girlfriend is a horse girl, which actually kind of explains everything if you think about it. Anyway, I just mean, like, at first I thought this was going to be one of those movies about high school kids who want to play music, but their parents just don't understand or whatever. But turns out it's really just about a bunch of teenagers who are fed up with their lives being so gosh darn wonderful. Anyway, so the next day, Stella texts everyone, even though they never exchanged phone numbers, and brings them all together again.
I signed us up for Rising Star this morning.
Yeah.
How?
But I don't want to be some random face in a yearbook.
You know, I get what you're saying, Stella. I really do. But
there's a lot
more life after high school.
A lot
you know how many times I've looked at my yearbook since I graduated? Never.
Unknown
I don't want to remember any of that stuff. Anyway, so after some convincing and tossing a coin for some reason, they all agree to give it a try because, you know, what's the worst that could happen, right? Now, the first big performance they're getting ready for is the Halloween bash. But see, here's the thing. Mo's boyfriend's band is also playing that night, and he's not too happy about it.
So, you know that new girl, Stella? She has some band, and Miss Resnick is in on it. This so-called band has half our stage time now. It's nuts.
It's me.
What?
I'm in the band.
You could play backup guitar for me or something, but come on, joining the band is taking half our night from us. What's up with that?
That mess.
I really don't want this to come between us.
Tell you, woman, hey, you need my backup.
I just love how he says that, like, the best thing Mo can ever accomplish is dating him. But anyway, so shockingly, he continues to behave with the maturity of a guy who pops all of his college, and Mo isn't sure what to do. Although, I mean, I'm pretty sure the answer is just to date anyone else, but hey, what do I know?
Damn, I never expect you to be that type of
If a guy doesn't
boyfriend.
call for a few days, should the girl worry? Do guys do that? You're a guy, right? You're not like a guy.
Wow.
No, I just mean like...
You're my best friend in the world.
And you didn't know, he actually did like her. And when they did break up, he should have been the bigger man and wait for him to move instead of waiting a day or a month went by before actually going to move.
The other guys in the same band as Mo's boyfriend just kind of starts causing trouble for like no reason. One thing leads to another and Stella ends up spitting some of that radioactive lemonade all over the guy and things get pretty intense.
And what? Going on here? And the great part about the principal of believe him instead Stella because the principal like Stella when what Stella did at that assembly.
And that is how we got our band name.
Oh, it's called Lemonade Mouth because they're all drinking lemonade. I mean, I knew that. I didn't just figure it out right now. What are you talking about?
Come
now,
on.
after this, there's this little scene of Mo walking into the weight room at school, and she finds out why her boyfriend's been ignoring her all this time. Which, yeah, that kind of sucks, but I mean, he's got one of those haircuts, and he rolls up his jacket sleeves, so you know what you signed up for, Mo. Anyway, so finally, it's the night of the Halloween bash, and everyone's excited and nervous, and all those emotions you have when you're young and your life is filled with living. So Lemonade Mouth starts playing the show. And of course, Stella just can't help herself, and she starts throwing lemonade around and goes on this long tirade about a bunch of random stuff. And would you believe the principal's not a real big fan of this?
Completely disruptive.
We just spoke our minds, and Principal Brennigan, you shut us down.
Because the decisions I make are for the good of this school. Lemonade Mouth is finished. You will not use the music room. You will
what
not use
decision do you make? Decision that you make only benefit you.
With all due respect, which is none, by the way, but still, quick question. Why exactly would you be listening to us take showers? Now, with the band being shut down by the principal, they were all just going to give up and go their separate ways or whatever, but turns out being barred from playing at the school really only makes them more popular in punk rock anyway, so good job, Principal Dum Dum. So they keep on playing together and become bestest friends, and their band keeps getting more and more popular, and just everything's looking pretty great. Now, one day, Mo is out walking around somewhere, and guess who decides to show up?
Oh, come on, Mo. Can we please just talk? Look, Mo, I made a mistake.
Nah, the cheat.
I'm not the same girl I was.
That cheater came to ask for forgiveness.
Me, my music.
Wow.
We're a package deal now.
Okay, I know. Just, can you forgive me?
You should have been packed
hold on a second, Mr. Chin and Jawline.
You didn't like her music.
Like, oh,
you didn't like when she took half of your
my friends tried to sabotage your whole life? Yeah, well, now that you're more popular, I'm really sorry I picked the wrong girl. I mean, come on, Mo's not gonna fall for that.
Maybe a backup singer.
Of course I can.
And then
what?
you
It doesn't
then
change
you move
anything
on. And then you start cheating on her, and now you want her to just forgive you?
Now, skipping
like
ahead a little
that?
bit, finally we get to the day before the big music competition. You know, the one they talked about back at the beginning of the movie?
Rising Star! Rising what?
Rising Star.
And suddenly, just out of nowhere, everything starts going wrong. Mo just gets like really sick, and Charlie, being the genius that he is, decides that this would be the perfect time to start sharing some feelings.
For a long time, I wanted to tell you, just, you were with Scott, and then we became friends. I like you, Mo. There, I said it.
But of course, she's just like, I just want to be friends. And can we please not do this right now? And then Charlie, in his infinite wisdom, just kind of freaks out like, oh yeah, well, your songs are stupid anyway. And what kind of name is Mo?
And the creepy part about it, that's the reason why he broke his fingers. He freaked out why he broke his fingers and broke his drumsticks. Because Mo didn't like him. Like him, but didn't like him as a friend, alright? Not a friend, but didn't like him more than just a friend. Like, he was still in the friend zone because she was sick. Like, and the great part about it, she didn't think about or she didn't, like, feel any connection up there.
Does your parents name you after Mo Tibbs from Smart Guy or something? And then when Fritz's eye, Olivia loses her voice, it's just a whole to-do. And everyone's ready to give up and quit because, like, what's even the point anyway? You know what I mean?
What's to talk about? Okay, we can't play, so we're out. No, maybe this is a sign. Maybe it's time to call it quits.
But after singing one more song together, they all talk it out and have one of those kumbaya moments, where they realize that the real music was friendship all along.
Y'all get
so everything's looking pretty great until the next day at the big Rising Star competition.
And they all falling apart. They don't know when to start. They don't know how to start on B or start on B.
So yeah,
the drummer don't know what he's doing. Like,
Mo's
come
boyfriend
on.
kind of sort of redeems himself by leaving his band to try and save Mo and friends.
Okay, where are you going?
I need help, man.
No, you do that, man, and you're out of the band for good.
I'll find another band.
Doesn't really help at all, but hey, good try.
Yeah,
and finally,
it really
in the
doesn't.
end, he and Mo get back together. Olivia and Wen are also kind of a thing now, I guess. Charlie realizes that being a musician is kryptonite for like 90% of girls under 25, and Stella meets the guy in charge of Mel's Lemonade. As someone who had like no friends in middle school and high school and pretty much stayed home every weekend, I've seen a lot of Disney Channel movies. This might be one of the best. I mean, a lot.
For one, I can me say it, Alex. Me agree. Descendants were up there for me. But Lemonade Mouth, I see Lemonade Mouth in mid. It's not bad and not good. So I'll be like in the mid right here. Like I'll give like this because it was not bad. Like you can get the concept and the storyline and everything that go to it.
Disney Channel movies had this like obsession with making the dumbest jokes and just forcing this bizarre sense of humor into everything.
Amazing.
How'd she go spring Draken from the joint?
No big. You've captured that dude more times than I tripped over my own shoelace.
Like a lot of their movies are about high school students in their mid to late teens, but they all act like they're 12 for some reason. Now Lemonade Mouth, however, is actually quite watchable. I mean, to be fair, the story's kind of dumb, especially in the first half, where the main antagonist is a principal who hates music and loves sports. Or the fact that 3 out of 5 of these kids almost have the exact same backstory. But other than that, I actually thought it was pretty good. It's a simple movie to be sure, but I think that's why it works as well as it does. You know, when they lay off the magic powers and time travel and robot boyfriends or whatever, Disney Channel can actually make some pretty alright stuff.
The ending was definitely something. Shout out to Alex Meyers for roasting Lemonade Mouth one last time, dude. Never miss. If you rock with the video, hit that like button. Let me know your favorite dumb moment in the comment. And of course, subscribe. If you haven't already, more reactions dropping all April long. So stay locked in. Catch y'all in the...